Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, this is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, keenly awaited, highly anticipated edition of the Trading Floor with your home host, Angie Barbosa and Jeremy Alexander, with a daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminds you to love life, live life, and trade. How you guys doing? There we go. Before the third hour came in to play, we were listening to a little bit of AC/DC Thunderstruck. That's a song right there. That is a song. Gets you pumped up. How you guys doing? All right, so it's a little bit of a slow day in the market. Let's do the indice reviews really quickly and see what the general market's doing, what it could do, what it might do. And we have a cute little, new Black Crow candle. Now, I will not say that this is a bullish candle. It really isn't. We gapped and we opened below the low of a prior day white candle. So that's kind of a bearish signal in a way. If we go to the hourly chart on the SPY, the hourly chart, the reason I think it's not the most bearish signal is because there was a bunch of black candles, gap down, so a little bit of a retest. So in my opinion, I think it's likely could do this for a little bit longer. Maybe tomorrow, which is a full day in the market, and then maybe Friday, Thursday, we are closed. So the volume not coming in and the sideways momentum makes a lot of sense to me for some continuation of a sideways move. And if we trade and the moving averages kind of prop us up and then we continue, that would make sense to me, and I would like to see that happen. And I think that's what will happen. The other thing that I'm considering is if we do, trade down in the beginning of 2015 and we start bouncing, I will buy the bounce. And that's really, I don't think much has changed from that. Today's gap and today's candle, and I will say this, is a little more bearish than bullish. I agree. It reminds me kind of the sentiment that we got over here, just a few weeks ago. And realistically, the volume is very, very low. So this could be the bullish move with great volume. This could be a flag. And if we start getting some gaps out of here, maybe sometime next week, that could be some really, really good bullish signals. So keep an eye out if that does indeed happen. The Qs, cute little black candle as well. I'm still more bullish than bearish. And, the first part of 2015, it might actually be a little boring. We very well might do a little of this action. Here was 2014, where we didn't really do much at all. And then May to the end of the year was phenomenal. So if you did sell in May and go away in 2014, you missed out on a lot of good moves. Could that happen again? Well, actually, yeah. I mean, look at kind of the similarities of these movements over here. And, we really could get a sell-off in 2015. We get a bounce. We do something like this. I mean, it really could work out almost identical. So it'll be interesting to see how and if exactly it does play out. But overall, I am more bullish than bearish. I'll be keeping my bullish perspective. And maybe we will be doing some bull put spreads or some put sales if there's any money in it on the overall indices. And the IWM, we got the rest today that I wanted / needed / anticipated / thought about. That Iron Condor was expired a while ago, and I thought I saved that a while ago. Interesting. So we're getting the rest, ladies and gentlemen, on IWM. If we get a close above 121.53, again, I would be more bullish than bearish. We're resting. This is a resting candle. And the exponential moving averages on the Russell Index, they look nice. We're above them. They're good volume. Volume is declining. It'd almost be perfect to me if we trade sideways and then next week or sometime we pop, allowing RSI to rest and the momentum and all that kind of good stuff. So it would be fascinating to see how and if that plays out. What are you guys' thoughts, questions, concerns, or opposing views on the general market? I mean, it's, who knows for sure. I mean, I don't know. But I have kind of my, I guess not necessarily bias, but I have my plan. I have what I'm anticipating. And my anticipation is for us to continue a little bit higher. And it might not be very pretty. It might be an ugly move. But I like that. We can do some spreads, that's for sure. Covered calls, stock ownership, that whole jazz. Trying to get this fib to work out. It's being mean. Come on. Okay, let me try this again. I don't know why it has two. I never quite figured that out. Okay. There we go. Something like this. All right, I'll leave it alone. That's close enough. IWM, so a target of the breakout will be about 127.39. Tina said, I agree, going higher. I would think so, right? A little bit of a pullback is okay if it pulls back in January. And Rob says probably a repeat of 2014. Would not shock me in the slightest. Honestly, really, really would not shock me at all. Okay, so let's go update us really quick on the 2 day trades that some of us might be in. MBT, Mobile Telesystems, is kind of like an afternoon rollover, and it looks decent. There's a stop at 771, and we're about to approach the 20 exponential moving average on the 15-minute chart. So kind of anticipating if it hits that and rolls over or stops out, that's a 1R risk. I'm not in this trade personally. I honestly didn't have the buying power after I got into HSBC bearish as well. And on HSBC, right now, barely showing a profit on HSBC. I'm going to go ahead and take the stop. I'm going to modify that for you guys here live to kind of show you how that works. So here is the pending orders on my proprietary trading. And who here has been with Nonco and used Logix for the last 6 months? I think it's probably only one. Maybe Arthur Pierce. I don't know if he's here today. I have. I don't know if there's anyone else here that maybe has. Anyway, it's made leaps and bounds. Would you agree, Arthur? When it first started, it was kind of like a small time thing. There was a lot of connectivity issues, and I met with the CEO of Nonco. Nonco is the proprietary firm. And that's the one who offers the leverage. And Logix is just simply the broker that they use to place the orders. And it was a little falsy, it was a little funky. It didn't work spot on. But man, it has come leaps and bounds. Oh gosh, so much better than it was. So much better. It used to be like a C- at best about, what do you think, Arthur, 4 months ago? Now it's really, really close to A+ material. I would give it a B+. I think there's 1 or 2 things that they can make changes on that I think they're going to work on. But at the moment, I think it's quite simple. Quite simple. So, for example, here's my orders. And let's say I have an order, I have a stop right now to buy. Okay, because I'm short. So this is going to be my buy order to buy to close. And I'm going to bring this down. So if we come to the 5-minute chart on HSBC, here's a 5-minute. You can kind of see that we're, the 50. I'm okay if we trade up to the 50 and fail it. So I'm gonna move this down just a penny or two to approximately 47.47. Does that mitigate my risk a lot? It is. I mean, 2 cents. It was only an 8-cent stop. So if I go to the 15-minute chart, you see the 15-minute chart. That stop is still above the 20 exponential moving average. Right now, I'm purely at break even, and I'm just gonna modify my stop. So here's how you modify it. You right-click it, come to modify order, buy. So this is a buy order, right? I'm exiting out of this trade, and 47.47. Order type stop, accept, done. It's not that bad. So I'm not saying that other brokers don't do that. I agree. I don't think that other brokers. I'm sure, I'm positive other brokers make it very simple like that. But the reason I like this is because if you have a retail account, what I mean by retail is if you're day trading, you have over $25,000. That's cool, but that could be money that you could use elsewhere, because if you have $2,500, you can day trade through proprietary and have more money than you have in your retail account and use your retail day trading money for other money. So it definitely has gotten better. I do like it better. It's vastly improved, and I'll be using it a lot more in 2015 for you guys and kind of updating it. So that's what I do to day trade. The monthly fees, there's a $100 monthly platform fee. That includes data and charting. And proprietary, Fred, has actually been around for a very, very long time. It kind of got a bad rap in the 2000s. But really, it is almost equivalent to fractional reserve banking. It's very, very similar. And what that means is, I'm sure your business may know what fractional reserve banking is, but bottom line, you give them a small amount of money, let's say $2,500, and they give you $50,000 of buying power. And what I like the most about proprietary trading, this is probably, not only do I like that, but there's one other really, really cool thing that just blows me away. That's one thing that blows me away. The other thing that blows me away is the risk mitigation department of proprietary trading. And what I mean by that is they literally have a person and or a team of persons to make sure you do not blow out your account. So Peg, this is answering your question. So they have someone literally that will sit and watch your account, and if you lose $300 in a day, they're going to freeze your account. You can email them and tell them, hey, this is how much money I'm comfortable losing in a day. This is how much money I'm comfortable losing in a week. This is how much money I'm comfortable losing in a month. That's called your trading plan. And so if you email them and say, I want to lose 2R in a day, no more than that, and my R is $100, they will cut you off at around $250 or so. So if you lose more than $250, they will freeze your account. I think it's awesome. I mean, that's really cool in my opinion, because they don't want you to blow out your account. Number one, because there's a lot of leverage, and number two, you're also using their money. You get to keep all of your profits through non-co. So whatever money you make, you keep. You pay 6 cents per 1,000 shares, $6 per 1,000 shares. So that means I did this trade on HSBC. I shorted 625 shares. I'm gonna buy at some point 625 shares. That's $12.50. So I'm gonna pay about $8, give or take, for this trade in and out. Now, if I trade something like Tesla or something, and only did 100 shares, let's say I did 100 shares in and 100 shares out, that's only $2 commission. So the commission's cheap. It's very, very fast. It has high leverage. I like it. For day trading, I never understood why anyone would day trade with actual shares until I understood prop trading. I think it just opens up a window. And from there, there's nothing else special about it other than you have to trade your plan. That's why anyone who loses any trades, right? Anyone who loses any money, you got to follow your plan. I mean, it doesn't matter what broker you're doing. There's nothing special about it other than those two things that I mentioned. And it's simply from that, it's there. There you go. So yeah, you have the monthly fee. Yeah. Peg, so do they have electronic transfer in and out? Yes. I have been able to pull out money every month or every other month, no problem. They are international because if you do this type of trading through the United States, you have to have a Series 56 license. Okay? You have to have a Series 56. So that requires about $250 and about 4 or 5 months of studying. And then once you pass your 56, you can go through a United States and you don't have to pay the wiring fees. This is an international brokerage. There's obviously risks that are associated with international brokerages. I have met the CEO. His name is Chuck. And, I mean, he's a nice guy. So, I don't know what else to say other than, yeah, you got to pay, a wire fee in and out to get your money. If you pay the wiring fee, you'll get your money. You get it in about 2 or 3 days. I've done it pretty much every other month. So, that's all. It's just a good way to day trade, in my opinion. It's fun. Let's go look at some tech stocks, shall we? And I'm going to first start off by looking at Apple. And I'm going to create a plan for Apple. And my plan on Apple is going to be... I'm going to write it down in here for a second. My plan on Apple, let me go to the hourly chart, and we have an evening star reversal pattern at the moment, but we are getting a little bit of a white buying candle. So I'm going to go look, see if there's any money at right now. And I'm going to go here, I'm going to come into Yahoo Finance, and I'm going to consider doing a covered call now And I'm going to buy a protective put on Apple if we break 112. Let's see. Options. Let's see if there's any money. Maybe this week or next. I doubt there's going to be a lot of money this week. 115 is 11 cents. Let me do next week 116. See how much premium is in that. 116 for next week. 41 cents. I think I'll go with that. That's $120 for me, for my account. For next week. I can dig that. I'm going to go ahead and log in. I'm going to go ahead and do that covered call. And I'll buy a protective put if we break below 112. Expiration. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and log into Interactive Brokers. So this is the this is my swing trade account. So I do not swing trade through non-co. That is purely 100% day trade, in and out the same day. No swing trading. You can technically hold trades overnight. You only get 1 to 2 margin. And they're only, I think they're only long trades that you can do it with. I may be mistaken on that, but I've never actually done it. Let's see. All right, and what is this number? Okay, hopping in here real quick. Orkin says, Jan, how much commission IB costs for swing trade? Very cheap as well. Interactive Brokers is very, very, very cheap. We'll see in just 1 second how much it's going to cost for 3 option sells. I think it's like, I mean, it's one of the cheapest brokers that exist. It's one of the I think it's the cheapest broker out there, actually. You know, Options Express is a little pricey. I think you have to have a I think you have to have a $10,000 account though with Interactive Brokers, if I'm not mistaken. Is it 5,000? Okay, cool. I'm gonna do the 116 call because I get exercise up there. I'm not gonna cry about it. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know. No tears for me. Profit's a profit. Sell 3 Apple January week 2. 116 call. Apple bid 40 cents. Preview order. Sell 3 Apple call. It's January 2nd week. It doesn't say that, but 16 call, 40 cent day. Submit order. Okay, as required. Okay. There we go. Got filled in. That's what I love about Apple. I do love that about Apple. Oh, I forgot to look at my commissions. I'm sorry about that. I think it was like $3. Oregon, I would ask. I do use the Trader Workstation platform, Cheryl, but if I get that pulled up and Logix right now and the ScreenFlow application, I mean, it would just bog my computer down, even with the RAM that I got. Trader Workstation, as you know, is massive, but I do like it. I love it, actually. Okay, so that's Apple. So that's kind of my thoughts. I'm going to get into a covered call expiring next week. If I get exercise up there, sweet. If I don't, sweet. If it does go down, I get to a caller. 116 Jan week 2 covered call for Newsom. All right, I will save that. And again, I'll get into a caller if we get below 112, which I doubt will happen, but it definitely could. Definitely could. And if it does start breaking below here, I more than likely will just, if we close below 110.49, I'll exit my shares and I'll hold on to those calls naked and just let them expire worthless on Apple. Let's go into Alibaba for the moment, and I'm going to go to Best Buy. Alibaba, ladies and gentlemen, I don't really have much to do on Alibaba. I mean, there's not much happening. We have some higher lows. We have some lower highs. Right now it's just kind of hanging out. You know, we could get a black candle to create like a rest after battle pattern. But realistically, you know, if we do trade down just a little bit lower, this seems to me that this is actually kind of almost a bullish pattern, ironically enough, because the way it's trading. But it's really not doing much. And there's not a lot of premium in a bull put spread or anything. So if I come to Alibaba, my bull put spread would probably be 100, maybe a little bit lower. I mean, I don't really have to go look, but there's just not that much premium in there. January, regular January. Let's go down here to the 199. You might get 10 cents. I would prefer 99, 97.50 or 97.50, 96. It's good if you get a good spread fill. I would try to do it lower than 100 though, because 100 is kind of right here, and it might work okay, but if we close below the 50, you'd probably want to consider exiting unraveling. So just kind of keep that in mind. I don't really have much on. You know what? Let's see if we do a 97.50, 90 whatever, and then a bear call spread up here. Let's see if there's any premium in Iron Condor. 97.50, 96. So that's $2.50 margin. We would get 15 cents for that spread. And then if we come up here, we do a 113, 114. We could get 80 cents on that. That's another 15 cents. So 30 cents. You could get a little bit better than a 10% Iron Condor for here, 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 and here. What do you guys think about that? Cindy, you can email me if you need help with non-co funding, but what I did is, yeah, like Orkin saying, I used another company. It's like PayPal. It's very similar to PayPal, but it's called Skrill, Skrill. Deposited money and then transferred it over there. So if you use Skrill, yeah, it should. If you deposit money, once you deposit the money and it hits Skrill, you email. This is very similar to PayPal. You put in the email address and send it to Nonco. Oh, so if you're funded, then you should be good to go. Oh, cool. Okay, Cindy, cool. High five. What do you guys think? Do you like that, Condor, or what? I don't hate that. A little bit better than 10%. We have pulled back. 97.50, 95, 113, 114. Iron Condor. The Iron Condor. January expiration, 35-cent limit. 30-cent limit, which is right at 10%. That's safe enough to me and enough time to say that would be a good trade. Forrest, do you have problems with Logix? I did for like 3 or 4 months ago. Like that's what I was saying to Arthur. I have had it before, but I really haven't had it in quite some time. I'm not saying that it won't happen with everyone. And unfortunately, one of my best friends and great trader, I think she still might have some issues with it, but I haven't heard from her in a while regarding any issues. That's Dory, as you know. But for me, man, for the last, few weeks, it's hummed like a 1920 Model T. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just recently. I don't know. Oh, cool, Arthur. That's great news, man. Show us the pros and cons. Yeah, it's like anything else. It's like any broker. It has its pros and cons, but it's really not that bad. It really isn't. It really is not. Yeah, she's taking the test. Yep, she's going to get set up her own. That is correct. It's been a 4-month journey for her. I'm going to make sure to check up on that. Paul, yeah, I like him. I'm still buddies with Fonzie. So Baba, not much going on. Facebook. I'm waiting for a bounce, ladies and gentlemen. Who's ready? Who's ready? It's traded up. making higher highs, higher lows. I mean, we come in here, if we start bouncing, either a bull put spread or a put sale or something, but it traded up, and I'm, ready for a bounce. Let's see if we bounce. I don't know if we do. There is a resistance at 80.74 that we'll have to keep aware of. So I would think if we get a Morningstar reversal, we'd want to close above that, but I'll keep you guys in tune on Facebook. But, it's a nice bounce, nice retracement. And we start bouncing here, depends on the type of candle that we get or the gap that we get. But I like it. I would love it. I doubt this happens, but I would love it if it comes down to here, because it would trap a lot of bullish traders, who've been in here. A lot of the short sellers up in this area would be making some good profit. This would be a great place to buy Facebook. Heavily doubt it trades all the way down there, but that's kind of like a pipe dream. If it does, I'd load up on some shares of Facebook. It's be great risk reward, Looks nice. Let's go look at Best Buy really quick, and I'm going to go see if there's still premium in Best Buy put sale. Quick Trade. I thought I was still in Quick Trade. Okay. Robert, you got it, man. Cisco, done. CSCO. Look at that in just a second. New order. Okay, options. Let me go to Best Buy. This is one I was looking at yesterday. Best Buy. Best Buy, and this was January expiration. We still couldn't find out anything specifically. It was just regular January expiration. $35 put. Let's see if it's still there. I mean, if the bid is over 30 cents, I'll go with this trade. It's still at 60. Holy smokes. Do we still have any idea why that's not? What's going on with that? Do we not know? Do we know anyone? I'm ready to get into that. Unless you guys can tell me anything different. I planned it. I'm ready. I will go ahead and create my my exit strategy on that just in case. No? Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get in 60 cent limit. Preview order. I'm gonna do 10 of them. And give me about 3 seconds. So it's submitted, filled. Okay. So I'm in on Best Buy. So I'm gonna come over here. Come down here. Regular expiration, regular January. Newsome, 35 put Jan expiration, 60 cent limit, 10 contracts. I will not even consider. No, I'll put that in my other plan. Get this one so I can exit out of here. Okay. So let me put this into this plan. Per above analysis on BBY. I will not even consider, worry, or care about BBY unless it closes below. What price is this? $37.50. $37.50. In which case I will set up a buy to close limit order for 30 cents or so if we close below that price. If we gap down, this is worst case scenario. So when I do put sales, and I hope Lita's watching this, she's a big put sale fan. If I ever do put sales, I always come up with the worst case scenario. If we gap down and open at 35, that is worst case scenario for me. That would be a bearish gap and go. I would buy to close the puts and get into longer term puts and implement a bear call spread. There you go. There's my plan, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna put in a stop here, and this is just again for me to, if we close below this price, and if we don't, I'm not even gonna look at this. If we close below this price, then I will consider setting up a buy to close at a limit order, because the implied volatility at 60 tells me that something could be happening. I don't know what it is. It doesn't mean that it can't go up or can't go down. I mean, it could still do this or this or this or whatever. But ultimately, my thought on Best Buy is that everything should just be A-okay. So I'm going to put the expiration. Give me about 5 seconds. January expiration is on the 16th. Okay. I'm gonna make this line pink. Make it a little bit bigger. Press OK. Save chart. There we go. That's my thoughts on Best Buy. And that is I have one more trade left for 2014 swing trade, but I'm obviously not going to take anything tomorrow, so I'll just move. No swing trades. That'll pretty much be it. Do you guys type in a 1? I should probably do a poll. I need to get better at polls on Click Webinar. Type in a 1 if you want me to update my trading plan in front of you guys right now for 2015, or type in a 2 if you want me to wait until next week and do it next week. Ford says, what is a safer alternative? Safer alternative is do less time farther away. 34 or 33. But that's, in my opinion, man, that is. All right, so you guys are saying 2. Okay, I'll do 2. What's up, Rob? How's it going, brother? I think that is a very, very conservative put sale. I would do that put sale if it was at 30 cents, but it's at 60. The time makes sense. The trend makes sense. The location makes sense. I got my worst case scenario plan ready to go. I got my stop in place in case it closes below here. I'll just set up a buy to close order to exit my puts. You could turn the puts into a bull put spread if you wanted to. If you didn't want to do naked. I mean, man, that's below the 10, the 20, the 50. You got a gap. You got a double bottom. You got a white candle. You're below a support line. 2.5 weeks expiration. That's perfect. Will it work? I don't know. I have my plan for it, though. And as long as I trade my plan, that's what matters. That is what matters. And Rick said you could do a bull put spread. Yeah, either one. Either one, ladies and gentlemen. Totally your call. Okay, so there's Best Buy. Let's go look at Microsoft. Microsoft is a tech stock. Let me go back to Best Buy and make sure it saved all that analysis. I just want to verify. BBY. All right. It appears it's saving the analysis. Microsoft, still waiting for that. Still waiting for a bounce. Might not get it. Might have to wait till the long-term moving averages. See if we bounce off that. Microsoft, I think we'd be maybe looking to do a put sale of some kind, but this is a retest gap, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot on the market that is a retest gap, and there's a lot of retests going on. All right, and so what I mean by that is SPY, and there's many, many other things as the stock's trading down. There is a lot of retests. So these bearish moves could be simply a retest. And if we get some really strong gaps, maybe Friday, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, I think that'd be very, very fascinating. I think today and tomorrow might be some selling pressure as well. And then Friday could be a big day or next week. So it'll be fascinating to see how and if that works out. But Microsoft don't have much to talk about. DDD, cute little white candle. This is a longer term accumulation phase type of buying location on DDD. So if we're buying it, this is a longer term bullish swing trade. I'm just kind of hanging out, seeing what's going on. GoPro, buy the bounce. We have not bounced yet. If we start closing below here, I think that'll be very, very fascinating. We're trading back up into the 100 and failing. I'm going to keep an eye on GoPro because my anticipation is very, very good bullish move. We broke through old support, new resistance, volume increase. I think this could be a flag. And if we get a good gap out of here, it'd actually be slightly more bullish than bearish on GoPro. Netflix, we looked at this one, had a great conversation with Tina and everyone else about an hour ago. Looking for a close above 346.43 before I go more bullish than bearish. Stop at about 327.93. Might could scoot that up a little bit. But we do have a bull put spread expiring in January, way down here. And I'm not even going to look, touch, or consider unless that closes below 310. So, interesting to see how and if that plays out on Netflix. Google. Cute little white candle today. Brian Bodie's in a bear call spread expiring this week, and his line in the sand is kind of 345. So I think he'll be just fine on that one. But this still does kind of look like a 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think we might make it up to 560. I mean, it really could be a stretch. But I am just slightly more bullish than bearish on Google. And what I mean by that is I'd probably be considering a bull put spread or something down in this area, 515 and some change maybe. Depending on how and if we do in fact bounce on Google. But it does look, it looks a little delicious. Doesn't look too shabby, what I'm trying to get at. Doesn't look bad. Google is done. Amazon. Still doing its Amazonian thing, ladies and gentlemen. We got some bull put spreads down in this area. Jan week 1. I think that is this week. Dale or Jeff or anyone out there? Is anyone in an Amazon bull put spread? That's the only trade I have for Amazon, really. I'm more bullish than bearish. Mentioned this kind of little double bottom pattern right here. Retest, continuation. It's just very slightly bullish, right? Very slightly bullish. I kind of do like the bull put spread just a tad better. Just a tad. Farouk says, close your HSBC. Close my HSBC. You might say it's close. It might pop. It might. It might go up and touch that stop. We'll see. There's the 20. I mean, it could come up here and do this, and I just exit the day for break even. You might be right. We'll see, though. I got my stop in place. You guys might even get to see a stop dance. Who knows? MBT, Mobile Telesystems, did stop out if you're in that trade. Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. I know this is not really a tech stock, but Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, if you did not get a chance to get in earlier, I think you have another opportunity of getting in for a short-term swing trade. So it broke out, and now it's retesting. And so you're actually above my prior trigger, intraday trigger on Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, 133.17. So the daily chart does look a little bit more bearish than bullish. I agree. We talked about this was a congestion. It did gap a little bit. Didn't quite gap below 132, but doesn't look bad. It looks like it's going to close down this level. We're making lower lows and lower highs. I mentioned that if we make it down to 130, probably would take our stop and mitigate it a little bit. Ultimate target is 125. If we do in fact get there, that would be smashing, darling. Smashing. Yes. That'd be great to see if that indeed works out. But a smidge more bearish on than bullish on Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. Let's go look at MTW. This was another swing that we're going to keep an eye on. And I have an intraday trigger at 23.22. I do not know if that'll trigger anytime soon, but my stop, if it does, is 22.12. This is a retest, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect inside candle. If we trigger the stop, I'm slightly more bearish than bullish, but I'd be anticipating a bounce on Manawak Company. Good volume, good candles. I like the area. Target will be about 26 and some change on MTW. Let's go look at JCPenney. I mentioned I was going to look at that one yesterday. Marsha and her husband Ralph were keeping an eye on JCPenney. And we have an end of day trigger at 626. It's still kind of hanging out there for the moment. If we took the stop, I kind of want the stop at 689. But I would like a close below that price on JCPenney. It is hanging out at a really nice support at around 630. So if we go to this weekly chart, you can see it almost appears that we're forming a stair-step type of pattern on a weekly. And volume is declining. And if we close below that price, I mean, 524 would be a pretty acceptable, pretty decently reasonable target on Just a penny. Just a penny. ARWR. Let's see how we're closing on this one. Munash was looking at this particular trade as a shorter swing trade, and he already got triggered in. 770 was his bullish entry. Stop is 742. Target is 850. Tomorrow, I'm kind of interested in see if we get a bounce tomorrow on the hourly. Trade up, kind of a pullback and some type of bounce. The daily chart looks nice. We do have 4 white candles in a row, but it appears that we're going to, with volume, kind of close above this resistance, be above the exponential moving averages, big white candle, and I think if we get a small retest inside day tomorrow and then bounce, I think that could be on Arrowhead Research more bearish than bullish. More bullish than bearish, I'm sorry. Let's go look at El Pollo Loco. It's not really a tech stock, but I figured I'd look at it anyway. It just kind of looks cool. El Pollo Loco, it's an interesting location for me. It's definitely in a buy low, sell high situation. 1896 would really, really be decent, but if we come into the hourly chart, we don't really have a gap. There's no really, really strong edge, but if we do gap on El Pollo Loco, if we gap above here, 2196 or something, I could see that being semi-bullish. Yeah, I could. I could see that. It's kind of basing out down here, so we're getting a little bit of a this thing going on. So I would kind of keep an eye out for El Pollo to gap potentially. It might wait all the way until earnings. I don't know. But as far as technical analysis is concerned, some solid support around 1896. And I'd be interested to see how that works out. Do you guys have any questions or any tech stocks you want to look at? Cindy said, what's the deal with Google and Google and L? One is C-class shares, which is you can still trade it, but it's mostly, not necessarily mostly, but the majority of people who trade Google with a G and no L, Cindy, which is this one, is employees, staff. It's a little bit less traded. It doesn't have as much volume, but it's just a C class. You could trade either one, honestly. They trade almost identical. But one's C class and one's regular. Weird how they did that. I agree with you on that. If you're thinking why did they do that? That I don't really fully know. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, Victor, good call, man. MU. He wants to look at MU. I haven't looked at MU in a while. MU, nice candle from yesterday. Let's draw some support and resistance on this guy. MU was kind of mean to me once about 5 months ago, but I got it back. I got it back. Support resistance approximately at 25.62. Support resistance approximately 29.70, and some resistance at 34.83. Volume is declining. This is a retest gap. We have had a bunch of black candles, which means RSI should be pretty decent. RSI, yeah, it's at 63, so Stochastics is going up. We had a white candle just the other day that opened above the high of the black candle. Let's check this out on the hourly. Okay. Let me try this again. MU on the hourly, Micron Technology. Let's go to Facebook and go back to MU. Whatever it did, it didn't like it. Whatever I did. Oh, man. It is not liking my hourly chart. Oh, well. There is a little bit of a gap at this particular price, Victor. I like today's inside day candle. The only pausing factor I have is earnings right around the corner. So right around the corner. So I would be cautious on this particular trade. So let's pause here. Wait until after earnings and let's see kind of what happens. Because that gap, I think, will really depict and determine what it does and how it happens and all that kind of good stuff. Siva, that's a very, very good question. Siva says, if time permits, can you explain how the VIX works? Is it okay if I do that next week, Siva? Next week on the VIX. I'll either do that on Tuesday or Monday. Probably Tuesday. Since Monday is Mentorship Monday, it's going to be a lot of explanation, talking, reteaching, that type of thing. But it'll be either Tuesday or Monday. But if you're in class, let me know. I'm happy to do it. The good news is I really do not use VIX that terribly much. But I do know its benefit. I do know how it works. And I'll be more than happy to explain that to you. Sure. All right. Victor says he's going to wait until after earnings. Cool. Let's go look at CHK. Me and Fred looked at CHK yesterday. CHK, so Victor is in this one as well. Since I was thinking about you, Victor, just kind of waiting to see how this plays out. I think it's a little bit of a pennant, and I have a weird feeling. My solar power crystal ball is telling me that we're going to get a little bit of a bullish pop tomorrow. I could be massively wrong. I really could be. I don't know. I do not know. Saying this to say, however, if we do gap out of that on CHK, I really, really do like this gap. I love the volume decline, and if we gap out of here, I'd be more bullish than bearish on CHK. First target, this gap, and the next target, 24.40. So let's see. Yep, I agree. What else did you guys want me to look at? Let's go look at FAS really quick. FAS stair-step pattern. I mean, it's so high, but it is a stair-step. So here's the things, ladies and gentlemen. This retracement to me, if we do this, I mean, we'll be in a parabolic state. And I think people almost will be panicking about the bullishness up there. So if we start panicking up there, I think that could be the implications that we need to really start calming down on the bullishness and just waiting a little bit, because it is quite high, the market. It is quite high. Cisco is kind of similar. I mean, it looks beautiful. Beautiful wave rotation. Volume is majestically low. This is a gorgeous pennant. So we have a very, very nice move here. A retracement. Very, very nice move. Where do we go from here? Only time will tell. Right? If we pin it, we go bullish. It has room to go. RSI on Cisco systems is at 71. It's still pretty dang high, but can have room to go. There are just some stocks that, to me, I almost think there's no way it can go higher. You know, there's no way it can go higher without a good, nice market rest. But you know, it can go higher. Once you start saying there's no way it can do it, it often does. So I'm not going to try to dictate why the market's doing what it's doing. I do know that it's in a bullish bubble, without question, in my opinion, at this point. Tech stocks, a lot of tech stocks are in a bullish bubble. Just kind of waiting for a little bit of a pop. So here is my fib. If you like it, then you should have put a fib on it. And I'm actually going to drop this in here as well. I'm going to do this fib. Give me 1 second. From here to here to see if that subdivides well. And it does, almost to the penny. So I like this range. Believe it or not, Robert, I don't know if this is exactly what you want to hear, but 28.78 appears to me to be a very, very nice target. So I think if we break out of this pennant, I think some people will really hop in bullish, and then we might start rolling over. So I'd be a little bit cautious on Cisco. Obviously, ultimate target is 30.53. Depending on how we gap, could be nice. Ironically, I think we might gap down because it needs a little bit more selling pressure than it got. But, hey, pennant pattern, next target, the next target, and you got it. Yep, I got to close HSBC soon. eBay. eBay is at that reason. I mean, I don't know if eBay is ever going to break out. Probably wait till earnings, January 23rd, for something actually to happen on eBay. We have a very, very good resistance. This looks like a flag pattern to me. If we make a higher high and a higher low, I am more bullish than bearish. If we make a higher high, higher low, more bullish than bearish. Potential breakout in the future. Resistance. Resistance is near. Resistance is near. So we're really kind of at resistance right now. So sure, if we break higher, I could see that quote-unquote propulsion to kind of continue it to go a little bit higher. But overall, you've got so much resistance going on already. It might make it up to here before all-time high on eBay, 59.68 before earnings. It really might. I don't know if it does, but it could. And then once earnings hit, I don't really know exactly what will happen, but earnings season's going to be fun, ladies and gentlemen. You guys excited for that? I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty stoked. Let me go look at AMBA for Maggie. AMBA, stop intraday. I thought I took this off. If I was in this trade, I think at this point I would have a stop to really lock in some profit below that stair step pattern right here. Something's going on. Definitely some black candles, but here's your stair step right there. We broke out of that. This is a retest gap. We are retesting. I still kind of think we'll get a little bit of a bullish pop in the market tomorrow. Only one way to find out is to see if it happens, but man, isn't the market fascinating? Fascinating. HSBC. Let's see what it's doing. Man, that is close. Close. We got 8 minutes left. Where's the exponential moving averages? Let's see. We're above the 50. 8 minutes left. It's not gonna take a nosedive in the next 8 minutes. I wouldn't imagine. 15-minute chart. I'll probably just close it. We're at the 15. Yeah. So again, if it fell out in the next 8 minutes, I don't think it's gonna do much. So here's what I can do. I can select this. I can go to modify. I can do price. I could either put in the price now, or I can just change and just cancel the order altogether, like that. Go to level 2, like this. Click on the positions tab. Go to market, and then go to buy. Confirm send order. Yes. All right. I'm out of HSBC. Overall, let's see. Very, very small loss. 0.5R. Yeah, exactly. To the penny. 0.5R. Cool deal. Incredible risk mitigation, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know which ones work until they don't, or until they do. That could just easily been a 3R gain or 2R gain, as it could have been a half R loss. I'm totally fine with that. Absolutely A-okay. Let me pull up where you guys are at. So I figured out exit. I could go to position blotter and close it. Yes, I could have done that. I mean, you can do either or. I'm just kind of, there's like 4 or 5 ways to do anything. It's kind of cool. So again, we had 6 minutes left. We're at that point. It could pop down a penny, but since you're dealing with pennies at this point, with 6 minutes left in the market, it's not going to do that. So I'm okay to close it early, because with prop trading, once you get to about 5 minutes, you'll start getting messages or emails. Do you guys like the? I never really mentioned this, but do you guys like the report that Nonco sends you at the end of the day? Do you guys receive that report? I like it. I love it, actually. It's a nice little daily report. I think that's cool. It breaks it down and it just kind of shows. I mean, it's good. It's another. I just like. There's pros and cons of everything. obviously, but it really has improved significantly from where it was a few months ago. Since me and Chuck had our conversation, and the programming team's gotten a lot better. So I'm just interested to see how they play it out. Okay. Victor says, "Who sends?" Yeah. That's talking about prop trading. Yep. Well, cool, ladies and gentlemen. What's gapping tomorrow? Is there anything you guys want to look at between now and tomorrow's gap attack, gap action stuff? Anything out there? It would be hilarious if it would have been funny if that happened. No. Whatever. HSBC, cool. Thanks, Arthur. Great opportunity, man. That was fun. Let's go look at Nike. I love day trading. I love trading in general. It's just fun to me. Nike not doing much. Home Depot still just kind of cruising up there. Trying its best to get to ultimate target of 106 and some change. Victor says beer stock should be gapping up. I hear that. Budweiser. A little bit of a gap down today. I haven't traded Budweiser in a while. Beer stocks. Those are fun. I should invest in Budweiser. I should. Cool. A little bit of a channel. It's at resistance. Great buying location at 106. If you're in shares, probably some covered calls. TAP. Moores. A little bit of a small gap down today. There are a lot of stocks that are kind of gapping down, but very, very slightly. I kind of do anticipate tomorrow to be kind of boring as well. Thursday, market's closed. Friday could be a fun day, potentially. I think it'll be a little bit boring. So I personally, unless I have a non-directional trade like credit spread or put sale or something like that, I personally want to wait. I'm just going to hold it out, just do whatever and just chill. Oh, thanks, Marsh. I appreciate it. I like Ted. He really is a very, very nice guy. Very honorable gentleman. Cindy said, how would you like to be a taster for a living? Cindy, I love the question. Honestly, I don't know how good I would be. I don't think I'm a good taster. Because my taste buds, I'm pretty positive are messed up since I can't smell. I'm almost sure that I can't actually taste anything.
I am super curious about that. Why do you have no sense of smell?
It was from all my boxing when I was younger.
Oh, okay.
Yep, broke my nose too many times.
Fascinating. Mm-hmm. Poor Jeremy.
It's kind of a superpower, though. If I'm hanging around all my bros, it's kind of a superpower. So, but yeah, I do like beer. I like beer. I would be a taster, Cindy. This is true. If they gave me the opportunity, I wouldn't turn them down. I wouldn't be like, no, give this offer to someone else. But it'll be interesting. This is going to be some stocks I'll probably be investing in a little bit longer term once we get that market pullback. I do like, alcohol stocks, beer stocks. I like all kinds. I just like stock. I like trading. I like you guys. That's what I like. And I want to just say thank you. This will be our last ever. Think about that. Our last ever 2014 session. John Higgins, what should be the last stock that I look at in real life trading in 2014 on the trading floor? Lulu. All right. Lulu is going to be the last thing that I look at. Lulu has an intraday trigger. We talked about this one recently. A little bit of a pennant. It did trigger, and we do have a white candle, so it looks like we're in that trade as of now. If I was in Lulu person, I think my stop would be 53.49. It's a little bit of a tight stop, but not too bad on Lulu. If you're longer term bullish, you'd have a stop maybe 52. But we have this gap to fill, which is going to be tough. And then our ultimate target's probably 63 and some change on Lulu. So we'll kind of place that in here, and we'll see if we ever make it. But that's going to be a little bit of a longer term trade, maybe 2-3 months. But that trade seems to be a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year's. Next year is going to be great. In January, we're going to be talking about goals and share some stuff with you about future plans with me, personal plans, real life trading plans. And I just want to say thanks for your support, guys. This is an incredible family, an incredible community. We've already had adversity, and we're going to be overcoming everything that we throw at us. Remember, challenges are just things that are placed in front of you to make you stronger. That's all they are. So, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, I love you guys. Be safe. Have a nice week ahead. If you need anything, I will still be answering emails and checking everything. So, I appreciate you guys. You're phenomenal. And until then, love life, live life, and trade it. I'll see you guys later.